Do you want to know what it is?
Information.
Remember,
Information.
all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I am not a number. I am a free man.
Thanks for taking the time to join me on my channel, Nigel View on Things. How you doing here? Keeping hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. It's been a while since I last made a video. It's because I got something that I didn't really want. If I could find a receipt for it, I would take it back. I managed to catch a cold, turned into a chest infection, done me up like a kipper, knocked me for 6, didn't really want to do anything, didn't do anything, had to take some time off. Hey, but that's unfortunate, that's the way it goes. But I'm back. It still really hasn't gone, and the doctors told me it was viral. But over the past couple of months I still have been paying attention, and there is a lot going on. The world is in crisis, well, at least 50% of it, and what I mean by that is it's either flooded, on fire, or there's an earthquake, or a volcano popping off somewhere. And there seems to be a lot of volcanoes all of a sudden coming to life. There is something going on, and we all know what that is. That's what my channel is about, and many other people are showing exactly the same thing. Many videos, many pictures all over the internet of things that shouldn't be on camera. And talking about that, there's one of these pictures just here. 9th of July 2018, 9:41. Look up in the sky. What are the chances of, is somebody trying to tell us something? Of course, our governments would never tell us. And the reason because, well, we've known about this solar system that's coming in, boys and girls, but some of you might get hurt and you might need a plaster. It might cause a little bit of devastation. I really don't think that's going to go down too well. And when they lose control because their systems have failed, well, I'm just saying. Of course, it's global climate change. So there is no chances that there could be anything in our skies now, could there? Just looking down here, you can see that we're looking at a green turquoisey colour in our skies. Our skies are blue, not green. Our sun is yellow and not white like a big LED torch in the sky. So are we looking at this? Is this natural or is this man-made? That's what you've got to ask yourself. What are the chances of looking up and seeing an X and a Y in the sky? And the most interesting part about this, X is approximately where the sun goes down in that general direction, just there. I'm just saying, absolutely crazy. Take this picture for instance. I took this on July the 14th, 2018, 5:21 in the morning. You can clearly see that we've got this red object coming through the sky, and it was extremely red. The camera really doesn't do it any justice because it's brightened the picture up. And nice bit of flaring going on there. You make your own minds up. But there's something else that's going on that I've got to show you that I've, noticed. Every 7 days we're getting this red sun. And not only that, in the background you can see there's a black line. It looks like a curtain of darkness. This was quite dark. And I was very, very surprised to see this object here rising. Because is that cloud behind that object? Is that the sun simulator? I'm just saying. Not rightly too sure, but it doesn't make any sense. Here's another picture that I took. I'm not really going to discuss this. I want you to have a look at it and see what you think. I found some things in this picture I need to show you, but I'm not going to do it in this video. What I'm going to do is talk about this in the next video. You tell me what you think you can see. This picture screams and shouts at me. At any rate, 31st of July 2018, Brush East. Airportview.net, and I'll leave the links to this in the description box down below, so it's nice and simple for everybody to find. Here's something else that I've come across. Pictures are every minute. There's 240 pictures. That's 4 hours worth of pictures. Look in the background. You can see that black curtain of light. It stretches across the horizon, especially in the east and especially in the west. We've got that greenish turquoisey colour going on here, and look at the colour of the sky. As our sun and sun simulator comes through the sky, yes, there is a sun, no life. Not even going to discuss it. The idea of the sun simulator is to hide the shadows, like if the moon eclipses. It just takes the shadows away like a great big flashlight on a camera. As you can see now, the sun simulator's turned into a great big LED torch in the sky. It's turned white, and you can clearly see at the bottom that there's something growing out the bottom of it. What do you think that is? That looks like it shouldn't be on camera. I think because this is a fixed camera, all the angles marry up, and guess what? We get to see things that we shouldn't. The system is starting to fail. They can't hide it for very much longer. And of course, what we're looking at here is a reflection of the sun. Well, yeah, okay. Of course, it's the sun because the sun is yellow and this is white. But a reflection back onto the lens of the object we're looking at. Of course, there couldn't possibly be anything there at all, could there? I'm just saying, causing all these world changes. Of course, it's man-made and it's global climate change. Hey, you just listen to the scientists. They're not going to lie to us. Hey, they didn't lie to us about 9/11, did the governments of the world? No, they didn't. 31st of July, Calico East, and I'll leave the links to all these cameras in the description box down below, so it's nice and simple for everybody to find, but they're turning them off one by one because we're getting to see things that we shouldn't on camera. As you can see, we've got this green hue over here, and we've got this, well, it's darkness. It looks like a band of darkness. A little bit red over here, but it's going to change, and you can see how it changes. Is that to obfuscate the horizon as the sun and the sun simulator comes through the sky? I'm sure it is. Another thing we can notice is how it starts to flash. The sun simulator comes through the sky, and that is our black dot. If you notice just here, we've got lens flares. A lens flare is a projected image of a light source. The light source goes one direction, the lens flare will go the opposite direction, 180 degrees to the light source. So basically it is a projected image, and just here we can see this image growing on the side, and this is because there is a lens system in place. If you can notice just here, we've got two lens flares that are in line and one that is not in line, and that just says to me that there is a lens system in place, and we're going to see that just now. And there's another way of telling that there is a lens system in place, and it's quite obvious when we look up in the sky. We see sundogs or sun halos, and they try to tell us, the scientists that is, that it is ice crystals. Very, very relatively new, and yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. What we're looking at is a image that's being projected backwards onto the chemtrail particulates or the clouds, and that's why we get to see what we get to see, the lens system in place. We're looking at the image and it should be 180 degrees the opposite direction. It's a flipped image because it's running through a lens system, and that is quite obvious by looking at these lens flares here. One lens flare, two lens flares, and they're not in line. That's just impossible. We can actually see the clouds in the background. You can see the chemtrails and all the other little bits and pieces. Just here we get to see our red spinning planet, and we've seen this many, many different times just here. And you can see that we've got lens flares in the right direction here, but what's going on over here? This just proves to me there is a lens in place, and we've just seen that, and we've seen that before. Yeah, nothing to talk about here. Things that you shouldn't see on camera, of course. Just pay attention. Just here we get this object suddenly appear in the center. There's a white object, and you can clearly see that it's there. It's very, very hard to see, and it just disappears into the distance. And there you go. Last time we saw this object was the 27th of December 2017, Crank Poncha Pass, southwest. And then we get to see this suddenly appear in our sky. Now, if you're looking up, you wouldn't be able to see this because this is a projected image of an object running through a lens system back onto the lens of the camera. And you can clearly see it's spinning. Now, this is not our sun, because if this was our sun, it's spinning just that little bit too fast. And at one stage, we can actually see clouds going by, if you take notice. Lots of things flying about in the sky there, but you can see the lens where it's being projected back onto here. And with a projected image, it always travels with the sun and sun simulator left to right. And you can clearly see that it is spinning. And like I say, at one stage it does look like there's clouds going by it. Of course, this is a normal thing to see on camera. Yeah. Here comes our lens flare. And our lens flare will go left to right as the light source goes right to left. And you can clearly see it's still there, but it's slowly going away. Very interesting lens flares, by the way. And just around the outside, we can clearly see that there's something, well, manifesting itself just here. There's our red spinning lens flare. Now, it's become a lens flare and not a projected image because it's moving with the light source in the opposite direction. And then, all by magic, here comes our lens system in play, and we can see the clouds being projected back onto the camera through the lens. Of course, there is not technology in our sky in any way, shape or form. That now would be extremely impossible. I just thought I'd bring that to your attention because it's very, very important. In the next video, what I'm going to do is show you some bits and pieces that I've caught. Let's talk about the red sun and flashing sky. I've got some amazing video that I took myself. Anyway, that's all I've got for you now. Much love, much peace, and I'll catch you next time. Don't be scared, just be prepared.